Hey, Dhanendra, very good morning, and thank you so much for agreeing to be on this podcast to help us out with your experience as a hiring manager, as a technology leader, and your journey from, being a trainee engineer at Bharat Electronics in the Indian ground to growing as big as a director of a global automotive, becoming a global automotive leader in a foreign land which calls for a lot of applaud. And pardon me because I might not be using the right words here. The impact is much more than the words that I am using. So those are journeys that I'm sure the community members that I cater to, which includes STEM professionals, PhDs, researchers, is something that they will have many takeaways to learn from and implement right away, especially in the context of hiring, because people don't have the right job skill sets to project what the hiring managers are looking for. Okay, so once again, welcome. And I want to open this conversation by asking you to share about your journey from where you started as the trainee in a company in India to having such great achievements in a foreign land. And so you can start with your uh, key takeaways during this journey in maybe in the next 2, 3 minutes you can share with us.
Sure, Rima. Good afternoon to you, and very happy and excited to be part of your podcast. So, I'm a mechanical engineer. After that, I did my master's in a mechanical engineering design and joined the BHEL as a trainee engineer in the gas turbine division. After a couple of months, I realized that I need to further look for a job where I can implement my skills in a more effective way, and I joined General Electric a Global Research Center in Bangalore as a research engineer, and I've been working on crash and safety solutions. So, coming from mechanical engineering, working on a vibration design, and suddenly it was a change. Then a new area of crash and safety, which is a dynamic design, crash design, which is different than dynamic design. Started working on those, and when you're coming from academia, working on a industry, and suddenly you realize that the projects you have been working on are real. What you're designing gonna be on the road in the next few years. And within 1.5 years, one of my first design came to road, implemented with a car manufacturer in Europe, and that was something that I cannot express the excitement I had, the proud I felt, and then it kept on going. I started traveling across the globe, interacted with the car manufacturers in Germany, France, Italy, Korea, China, everywhere. And a couple of months every year, I was interacting with these car manufacturers, and that was a wonderful learning experience to see how the work culture is different, how these companies see the value we create differently, and that really helped me. That global exposure, the interaction with customers, direct interaction really helped in enhancing my solution development skills. 2013, I moved to United States, and then in a marketing role where I started looking for the strategic side of it. With the changing trends, what are the new opportunities, and how as a company we can tap on those opportunities for the profitable growth of business. And then I took several marketing roles, led several segments in automotive till earlier this year. And now I am the director of technology for the automotive for SABIC, which is one of the largest diversified chemical company. And as a technology leader, really what we work on is enabling the business growth through the effective technical execution. So developing right solutions, right technologies that can bring value to our customers as well as create value for our company. So this has been an exciting journey, and the most exciting part was how I got opportunity to enhance my skills, learning new things, and that has been really fascinating.
Yes, Dhanin, and I just want to mention over there the way you spoke about your journey. It seemed very effortless, and I'm sure it wasn't as effortless. And the second thing I resonated so much was the first time you get to see that the solutions that you're working on is going to be applied in real time, right? And that's where you feel that difference, and that's where you get that accountability, responsibility that's lacking in academia, right? That okay, this might harm somebody, this might be, might cause some accidents that might be life threatening. So there you realize that, oh, this is a very important job that I have to make sure that the product is up to the mark and is performing for the applications that it is made for, right? And now that you made this journey from a hardcore technical researcher to a technology leader, where you're getting into the marketing side of things, the strategic side of things, I didn't see you upgrading yourself through, say, a degree, maybe a MBA or a PhD, right? Nothing of that sort. The last advanced degree you had was a master's degree. So I want to ask here about what do you feel about this whole notion of upgrading yourself with degrees like PhD and MBA? Do you at all need it? What's your perspective on the same?
It's really depending upon what skills are needed in your job and how you are getting those skills. And throughout in my journey, I have I have got opportunity to do leadership courses from some of the really renowned universities and academia, like Yale School of Business, so the Thunderbird Business School. So and through those leadership and courses, I have been gathering those skill sets. Plus, on the job as well, as I've been interacting with customers, working with a very talented and diversified team across the globe, has been really helping to enhance my skills. So really it depends in the job, what are the expectations, what are the skill sets you have been missing, and it is always beneficial if you think you can get those skill sets from a course or another degree or education. So it's really, you have to plan your career yourself, looking at what are the gaps, what are the skill sets, how you can enhance and find the right way. Uh, there is no perfect way. You have to find your journey yourself.
Right, right. So expanding on that, so according to you, which I too believe, is there are multiple ways to expand your skill sets, and degrees, acquiring degrees may not be the only way to do that. And as you rightly said, you acquired it through the leadership skills and trainings that you had the opportunity to get exposed to through your company. So if anyone's company provides them, then that's also a great resource to upskill yourself, right, Nanin? So on that note, I'm going to just, because we are talking about upskilling, I'm going to just shift the gears a little bit to, AI. Now, over the years, it's been 18 years, right? If I'm correct, it's 18 years that
Correct.
working in the technology sector. And now with the advent of AI and AI invading everything that we work on, how do you see that it's changing the way you work today? How it is changing the way you function today? And what are any particular tools that you would suggest the youngsters to work on? Like, are these skills that you are also looking forward to in people when you're hiring them? Can you just break it down for us?
Sure. So it's a really rapidly changing technology landscape, correct? And the another trend is the development cycle of the product is reducing drastically. Like earlier, you hear about a new car being launched. That announcement used to come 4 to 5 years before, and now every year or in 2 years, a new car is being launched. So so the development time for a product is being reduced, and the end customers or the OEMs, they have been really looking for the solutions which are ready to be implemented, and that's where the AI plays a very critical role to accelerate the innovation. Ours is a product based company. So we really start with the material formulations, then take it, but we really take it forward towards the application development, application verification, testing, and uh, validation with end customer. And then a part manufacturer makes the part and car manufacturers put that in their car. So throughout the cycle, the AI is used in multiple ways. Like when you're doing the formulations, the material formulations through the AI tools, now we have the design space that every time you need not to make a new formulations and test it versus based on the data that you have been generated, you have a design space and you can do quickly formulate new materials with understanding what properties they bring.
Right.
Then it comes to the conceptual engineering and design. That's where as well, based on the AI tools we have been looking, is how we can make an optimum design for a changing critical to quality requirement from a customer. Then it comes to the testing and validations. So in each phase of the product development, AI plays a role. And to be clear, AI is a tool. AI is not a solution. You really need the experts and the skill sets, uh, how to use those tools, how to enhance your productivity, reduce the development time. Having a best AI tool is a help, but you really need a right scientist, a right analyst, an engineer to make a right design solution.
Absolutely. And this is something I've been reading so much, and I so believe in that AI is a tool, and it's again a garbage in, garbage out tool, right?
True.
Exactly. So the point is, what you feed in is exactly the kind of results that you get. So what you feed in depends on what is your ability and capability to understand what you need to feed in to get the right kind of output, right? So that's where I guess the analytical thinking, the critical thinking, and the scientist mindset comes in, and it's something that will be required moving even 100 years down the lane, I believe so. Okay, so thank you for breaking that down, how AI is included in each step. And a quick question which follows up with this is that these tools are evolving, right? So your capability to how you're going to utilize these tools are also going to be evolving, right? So it's going very fast. Like you said, the development cycle reduced from 4 years to 2 years now, right? So I mean, this space, where do you see the space going towards? Do you see it going towards, the development cycle reducing, like in the context of car manufacturing, or it's going to saturate somewhere? Like, can you predict anything right now, or how is it?
I will say that based on the changing demographics and consumers, everyone wants a new product that too faster. And the in this cutthroat competition in any product, not only in the automotive, I think it's really everyone is looking to reduce the development time, development cycle, and launch new products in a fastest possible way. And that's where the agile innovation comes in play. That instead of working on something really optimum, something big, versus how you can do the continuous improvement in a product, how you can go from one milestone to the second milestone in a fastest way, learn from there and further optimize, learn from there and further optimize. And also the regional discrepancies are playing a major role, like the the growth in China as well as emerging regions in India. That has really pushed everyone across the globe to look for the fast development, effective development, and as well as cost-effective developments.
So I think we can categorize it into three categories, as you said: fast development, of course, that's there. And then there is effective development, which not necessarily means that it has to be fast, but effective and fast are very different. And then the third part that comes into the equation is the cost effective development, right? And when it's effective and effective, I guess the sustainability part is also something that's taken care in these two. Would you correct me there, Dhanin?
No, you're absolutely right. And it's not one versus others. It has to be all three. If you have to be competitive in the market, whether it's a product manufacturer or a product supplier, or like us, like a materials company, we have to do all three. You have to be fast, you need to be relevant to the industry, and you need to create value for customers.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much for breaking that down. And again, I'm going to be shifting gears a bit, wherein I'm going to come
Sure.
to back towards the leadership part of you. Okay. So now that you're the director at Global Automotive, uh, from the outside, we can only see the tip of the iceberg, right? You're sitting on the top. But I'm sure it's not always a pleasant experience being a leader, because there are too many things that you have to handle. Part of it may be laying off people or having very difficult conversations with the people that work for the company. Okay, so my question is, how has these experiences evolved your leadership over the years? How have you seen that your leadership has changed? How has it made you a better leader over the years?
Yeah, I have been really blessed to work with some of a very talented colleagues, very inspiring leaders, and there are different phases of the transformation, and it happens multiple times in I think most of the companies. It's very important to see what the business objectives or the company objectives are and align to those company objectives. How is your development plans as well as a global footprint, whether it's a resource, capabilities, and competencies all together. So when the situation comes up that you have to resize the team or you have to optimize the workforce or you have to optimize your footprints, really it's an objective based discussions. And if you are honest to your team, if you're bringing the view where the company is heading, what the macroeconomics environment is, what are the challenges we are facing, and based on that, these decisions are made and those are respected.
Mhm,
If you are not honest to the team, if you do not have the trust, it's a complete failure.
mhm.
So really, and this all comes from the journey, from the learnings. Being I've seen several transformations within my company, in the company outside, and it's really important to keep it objective based and an honest conversation with your colleagues, your customers, your value chain partners.
Right, right. And I do see that maybe transparency or honesty are one of your values that you value in your communication, maybe the customers or the team members. And for my case, I just want to share a quick thing, which is that the values that I carry has boiled down to me, partly from my personality, but also from the leaders that I have been working under. Okay, because their leadership has taught me a lot. And I wanted to be a leader of the kind that I was led by. So, has there
Sure.
been mentors for you whose leadership has inspired you, and you carry some, traits from that and imbibe it in your leadership?
Absolutely, Rima. And this is really important to learn from others. And as I was mentioning, I have really worked with some of very inspiring leaders, and everyone brings some unique unique behavior. And just learning from those, trying to implement those for your leadership style, your work style has always helped me. So I'm still learning. I'm still looking forward for my mentors, my current mentors, previous mentors, and trying to improve myself.
I believe this is one of the trait of every leader that I see, that you do become the expert, but there is another level of becoming an expert. So one of the skills in this AI revolution is being a learner, a lifelong learner, and I believe every leader is so, right? So again, Dhanen, on that note, I'm just switching gears to understand the hiring part of hiring. When it comes to hiring, what happens within the organization? Now, why is that relevant? Because you have been a technology leader, a hiring manager, and you have been hiring multiple PhDs as well for various roles, right? So being on the other side of the table as the hiring manager, uh, what do you think has changed in hiring, like when you started 18 years back versus now? It has been a long journey, so what do you think has changed?
Mhm. So multiple things, correct? And it's my own reflections. Is earlier it was more on, hey, what has been your academic project? What are the tools you have learned? And what has been your experience? Have you do you have experience in the in my current business or the current problems what I have? That used to be before. Now it is changing. It's still relevant to have the basic skill sets, but more important is how to approach a problem.
Yeah.
The how to do a things is becoming also a very important part versus what is being done. And that's where when these days when we look for hiring a new talent, we look for his or her experience, his or her skill set, but more than that, how how he or she has achieved the goal or the solutions. The process is really important. Did this individual collaborate with a cross-functional team
Mhm,
and work together as an effective team player to make it happen?
mhm,
During this process, how was the learning experience? Uh, how did we how did he or she learn from the failures during the journey? So what's the attitude of the individual is more important. How you take failures, how you break down the problem,
mhm,
how you look for the information that you don't have today, what the processes you follow to get that information, how you look at the complex situation from different perspectives
mhm.
and look for the options versus one solutions.
Right,
So these are the things which are being evaluated, looked upon when we are hiring a new talent. So basic skills plus how you come up with a solution. So
right. So that again makes me curious because when it comes to PhDs, right, Dhanendra, what happens is they get very deep with their expertise, like of one kind, right? So it's like the depth they have built, but the
mm,
breadth sometimes missing, right? So say when a PhD is coming for any roles in your organization, again, you did mention that you look for the thought process and, of course, the basic skills that are there. But is there anything that you look for in a PhD specifically? Is there any example that you can state?
so again, it really depends upon the job from a scientist to an engineer to a fellow. So in the technology organization, really depending upon what is the expectations in the role. Sometimes we really need deep fundamental research, and we need a core researcher, which has a who has the skill sets of going really deep technical and go to the fundamentals. And sometimes we are really looking for a problem solver, quick an engineer who is quick with looking at the available options and find the right solutions. So it's a mix depending upon the kind of job or the opening we have. We
Mhm,
hire fresh engineers from with the engineers. We hire masters. We hire the Ph.Ds as well. And really, I have come across, at least I can tell about one the one Ph.D. in my team. One side, he is really an expert in in an area, really deep technical, one of the finest in the whole world. I can tell that.
mhm,
The same time, this gentleman has ability to look at any new complex problem and divide it to make it simple
mhm,
and find right options.
mhm.
He's good with both of them.
Right.
So once I'm doing PhD, once I believe someone who has done a PhD
Right.
has all the skill set to excel. They need to adopt to the organization environment, understand the business expectations, and work work towards optimizing efforts to create value for the company.
Right. Right.
Sometimes you may really go for the best industry solution, find a
Mhm.
solution, but if it does not match with the company offerings, it does not create a value for the company.
Right.
Or if it's a solution which matches but it does not add value to the end customer, then it's a it's a failure for everyone.
Right.
So really it's important to understand the business context, what's the company's strategies based on the skill sets you have developed in your academia, implement it to create value for the company and customers. That's really important.
Right. I'm thankful that you shared that example of a person who is having that deep technical knowledge as well as have a bird's eye view of every problem that has been thrown at him where he can break it down, right? So I believe that's a skill
Correct.
that's very much needed for all of us. And on that note, quick follow-up questions because you spoke about freshers who are engineers right from college, masters, and PhD. So the hiring is happening across this spectrum, right? So when it's a PhD versus a fresher, do you think PhDs are like uh, hired for more senior roles, like they're more prepared compared to freshers and masters to get directly into senior roles?
PhD certainly gives an advantage, correct? It enhances your thinking, your enhances the way you approach to a problem, how you research about the solutions, how methodological you are. So these are the skills, those are unbeatable. So really, it's a combination of your education as well as experience, and depending upon the role, really we look for the right talent.
Right. And so again, a follow-up question on that. When it comes to talent, every company wants to be sure, very sure of the talent that they are hiring, right? And in the process, they want to have someone familiar, which may be a talent who has been referred to the company via referral within the company, right? So when it comes to hiring, how much emphasis do hiring managers give to referrals coming from within the company versus an absolute stranger who has applied online?
So referrals certainly helps, and doesn't matter it comes from inside the company or it comes from the value chain or outside. Correct. There's social media platforms are very powerful these days, and you can get a lot of information. And also, like in particular industry, like the auto industry or consumer electronics industry, these are relatively uh, rich and closed industries. Everyone knows someone else from the other company. So it's when we go for hiring, we really look for the more than the referrals of feedback from the folks who have worked with him or her as an employee, and if and that really helps that because the interviews are generally 45 minutes, 1 hour, one interview, correct, and it's very difficult to get everything out of that interview. So in that 1 hour, we really look for the right attitude
Mhm.
and the basic skill sets. And if we can get more information, feedback from others, that has been an important criteria. So my advice to all the aspirants for a new role to really build a strong network. It's not only important to do a good work, but it is also important to make it visible, your good work, so that others can talk about it. So
Right.
make right connections, be present, make your work visible to others so that they can see it, refer to it, and that makes a big difference in hiring.
Right. So that was, a follow-up question again, coming to networking and all of that. I'll definitely come to that. But you also touched upon one thing, which is feedback, right? And the second thing you also spoke about was the social media platforms that are there. So now when the companies today are hiring, how important it is for them to, dig information about this hire from social media platforms, various social media platforms. So as a job seeker, as a PhD professional or a STEM professional, how important is your digital profile and to keep it relevant for the job that you are looking for?
It is very important. I can say that, and it's not about we don't make a decision based on the social media profile, but it creates the first
Impression.
first impression, or it creates the first perception about the
Mhm.
individual. So really need to have a relevant, I like the word, a relevant profile in
Mhm.
the social media so that people can know who you are,
Right.
what you have worked, and
Mhm.
who are the people who can talk about your work. So it's really important.
Exactly. And again, to just make it even more specific, when we are talking in the context of professional context, job, and all of that, it's mostly LinkedIn that again companies are looking into. And is that what it is? Can you just confirm? Though I know it's LinkedIn, but people are not.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah, link is,
yeah. So it's very important to have a right LinkedIn profile so that the companies are able to pick up that right first impression, right?
I agree, Rima.
Yes. So coming back to the next part, which is about networking that you spoke about, right,
Mhm.
Dhanendra? So apart from landing jobs in high-profile companies in roles that really help you to grow your expertise and work in cutting edge of technology, uh, how is networking important to even grow in a leadership role? It's I believe it's not just to land jobs, but it's also required to grow as a leader in the industry as well. So would you share your perspective over there?
It's a really important, and I'll give an example. I'm a part of a Society of Plastic Engineers Automotive Division. I'm a board member of that society, and it's really important when the experts and leaders from the same industry are coming together, talking about the challenges, talking about the solutions in a non-competitive environment. Correct, and then you learn from others, and you continue to build your network. Many times you need others to help you in the solutions you have been looking. Sometimes you need a different material to develop a solution. Sometimes you need a different expertise, and sometimes you need a different testing partner. So when so that could be one good way, participating in a different non-profit societies, like a Society for Plastic Engineers, Society for Automotive Engineers, like SAE, and several others. So those could be some good platforms. Also, depending upon what your interests are, if you're really looking, if your interest is towards the technology and innovation, there are the groups which work on agile innovation, and so you become a part of those groups and try to meet with the people with the similar interest and right skill sets to help you enhance your network as well as skill sets.
Dhanendra, thank you so much for giving us so much insider news, because what happens generally is people don't really understand what are the expectations of a hiring manager from them and how is this whole hiring process happening. And on that note, I want to wrap up this whole conversation with two last questions from you. Okay. I'm sure 18 years back, the way you deciphered success is not the same the way you do today. So, what does success mean in your own head today? And you can just expand on it by sharing how has it changed the meaning of success for you over time in career or in life, wherever it is.
Yeah, no, as I started, Rima, correct, in early career, when I designed something, it came to the road in a car. That was a success for me, correct? And I was so excited, so happy, felt so proud about that. Today's the success for me is as a team, what impact are we creating for our customers and for the society? And that really is my biggest measure right now. They say that it takes a village to raise a child, correct? And it's really important to have a high performing team and uh, and developing not only one design or one solutions versus developing something which help the industry, whole industry. I'm talking about whole auto industry as well as the society, the users. Particularly, I'm talking about the users of the cars. So this has changed, and I feel proud now when together with my team we come up with those industry solutions, something new. Like for example, electric vehicles are now growing, correct, coming up very fast. And as a team, we really developed some unique industry solutions that is bringing more safety to the batteries. And this has been uh, this has been uh, very it has been very proud for me as well as very exciting, and that keeps me going for more and more.
Right. So I do see that it has evolved from being, very individualistic goals where you wanted to perform in a role and climb up the ladder versus now it's a bigger purpose, which is about building electric vehicles that are more sustainable and are providing the safety much required moving into the future, right? So I guess success and our purpose is all of that evolving as long as we are moving forward and not stopping with the obstacles. And I'm sure you did have many obstacles, and we'll need a different podcast for that. And I want to end this on this last question. If you were to start today from scratch again, the Nindra that was 18 years back, to reach where you are today, what is it that you'll do differently?
Maybe two things, Rima. The first one is, the the working towards a continuous improvement in the solution versus really going for an optimum solution. Earlier, it was like, okay, I have a problem. How can I I bring the best solution, the most optimum solution? Versus now it is okay, how can we make continuous improvement from a so like a short sprints versus a marathon. So how can I go fast? How as a team we can go fast from one milestone to the second milestone? How can we go fast? And I would have if I have to do it again, I would have changed in my career journey, would have brought this little early, this the way of agility and in innovation to create a larger impact in a shorter time.
Right,
So
right.
that's
So if I were to rephrase it or paraphrase it in my words, then it sounded to me like not getting stuck in perfection, because making it optimum is like getting it perfect, and the perfection might never exist, and that takes a lot of time. Instead, if you keep making those small tweaks and keep moving forward, the thing gets perfected in the process. Is that right, Nanin?
Absolutely, Rima.
Okay. Yeah, is there anything more you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, the second one is really about growing with the team. It's you can go fast as when you are alone, but if you really want to go far, you need to be with the team. So it's really important how effective you collaborate with a cross-functional team, how this team is aligned to a common objective and common direction, and how you build on the skill sets of others. That's also another way to be more innovative, developing right solution in a faster time. So these are the two things that I would have done more early in my career.
Right, Dhanen. So, just to wrap up everything that we discussed, there are three things that stand out for me, and I'm sure the listeners who are going to go through this podcast will have some nuggets of wisdom in their own way to take away with them. But the thing that stands out with me is continuous improvement that you have been talking about right from the beginning versus, perfection. So, focus on improving every day. Step by step rather than achieving that big goal in one go, right? And the second thing that you spoke about is hiring for attitude. Though people might have the basic skills and all of that, but what matters more than the past experience as well, is how they are looking at the problem and how they are approaching it, what methodologies they are using, how are they collaborating. So it's a more holistic and behavioral part of the human aspect rather than this technical part, which is also equally important. And the third thing is being team oriented, especially if it's a leadership role that you want to grow into. And thank you so much once again for sharing all of those nuggets with us. And I hope you will be coming back in future with us sometime soon to have a different podcast, which will be around maybe leadership and the obstacles that you face, because I believe that will also be an impactful one. Thank you, Danin, once more.
Thank you, Rima. You summarized it really well. I really enjoyed this conversation and looking forward to be with you soon. Thanks.
Sure. Bye.
Bye.